Hello and welcome to the Western Wisconsin Journal. My name is Mary Claire Potter, and it's my pleasure today to interview the candidates running for the City of Hudson, the mayoral position. And joining me today is Randy Morrissette. Randy, welcome.
Hi, thanks for having me, Mary
Thank you so
Claire.
much for
Good to
being
see
here
you
today.
again. Yeah.
Yes, great to see you. I will go through our list of questions and allow you an opportunity to respond to them. So
Sure.
let me just start right out. Tell us about yourself, your qualifications, and your background for being the mayor of the City of Hudson.
Sure. Well, starting from the beginning, I am a born and raised and educated Hudsonite all my life. I've been here and grew up on First Street on the river. Had lots of forts down there when I was growing up down there. I'm married, have 2 kids, married for almost 20 years now. My oldest son is 17 and my youngest is 13, and they have both been in the Hudson School District since they've been alive. So I've called Hudson home for many, many years and have been very involved with it. And I think it really comes down to the roots that I had. And your husband had quite a bit to do with that, because I grew up in the Phipps Center, and I really attribute that and my upbringing to staying out of trouble and really kind of honing in some social skills that kind of helped me move on to college, where I have a degree in psychology, a minor in criminal juvenile justice, and a concentration in child psychology. I used to be a counselor for Washington County, and then I got out of that and jumped into the hospitality business. And now I've been into that almost, 15, 20 years on and off. And I'm back at the Fairfield Marriott. I like Marriott as a product. And I've been using HR skills, and I'll tell you, and psychology skills all along. So my qualifications for running for mayor, I'm now in the 10th year as serving on city council. So I was appointed in 2006 to District 1, and then I've run consecutively ever since. It's been a great opportunity. I've learned a lot. I've made some good decisions probably. I've made some bad decisions, but I've always tried to make it about common sense and having a common sense approach to good fiscal government policy. I've been on every committee that the city is involved with, except the cable board. Which is odd since I did theater at the Phipps Center with John Potter
Yes.
and June Erdman for about 13 years, and I did 3 years more of that in college. So I've been pretty involved with the community. In 2002, I think you're aware of, I was named Chamber Member of the Year when I was working at the Fairfield before, where I also received 2 awards from Marriott International, the Blue and White Diamond Awards, which were about guest satisfaction. And it actually ranked me 4th out of 400 some hotels throughout the country in Fairfield and Brand. And they also gave me a local leadership award.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been on the boosters. I've been in Rotary for almost 17 years now. And I think John Potter, again, he was the one that got me involved with Rotary. So he's looking out for me.
All right. What do you feel are the mayor's most important responsibilities?
Well, communication and consistent, strong leadership. And coming up in the next few years, Hudson's got an incredible amount of projects coming and issues that we have to deal with, and we have to be experienced to tackle some of these issues. Some of them are within our control, some of them are not. And when I refer to that, we need to continue with the purchase and the pursuing a public safety building. And we're kind of on that path now, but we have to determine what's best for the city as a whole. So we can certainly accommodate all of the needs in the whole city, not just in certain geographical locations. The other one is the Vine Street construction project. As you know, we've budgeted $3 to $4 million to redo that. It's well overdue. And we had a Vine Street meeting last week, and I heard the residents very loud and clear about their needs on that street, and then balancing it with the city as a whole's need, because it's not just the folks that live there.
Right.
It is also a throughway
Yes.
from west to east for everybody. And the residents are concerned about speed, so I've already put it on the agenda for the public safety, because right now I'm currently the public safety chairman. So I put that speed issue on the agenda for our next public safety meeting. So we're going to address those and try to balance it. That street alone is a big project on top of what the Wisconsin DOT is expecting to do on exit 1. Replace the bridge and redo the exit and entrance of I-94 on the first exit. It's going to be a mess. And we have to be able to have strong leadership to mitigate any of the issues that are going to arise. I've been on the council for 10 years and Public Works Committee, Public Safety. I know the people to work with to get the needs that are going to come up during that and try to mitigate as much as a headache as it's going to be.
That is true.
And the other one strong thing, or I should say main issue coming up, is we're having an extreme amount of turnover and retirements of our senior staff in the city. And we need somebody who knows how to operate, budget those departments that we're having the turnover and the retirements in. That's important. In my HR experience, and I've been on the finance for about 4 years finance committee, and we've gone through the hiring process of how you need to do it for the city. That's experience along with negotiating union contracts, negotiating just any contract with senior level management people. We really need experienced people in there that know Hudson and Wisconsin state laws and can really help and look at every side of the issue when it comes to hiring our most senior staff. And just we have 76, 79 employees. So on top of the HR issue, we're also, this current council has started to now look at an advancement and an overall policy to move up, pay grade, et cetera, et cetera. Policy review is very important, and being the longest serving member right now on the council, it's important to have that kind of experience and input.
Right. You touched on a few of these, but what do you see as the most important issues to be addressed by the Hudson City Council in the next 2 years?
Well, the one big one is the golf course redevelopment property. And the big thing about that is that our city staff has done a great job at making sure that the city is involved in every aspect of the development plans. Now, you being a member of the Plan Commission, you know there are issues that we as a council and a Plan Commission need to be listening to the folks on Laurel Avenue, and we need to listen to our business partners on Carmichael and Cooley and try to balance that development. Our infrastructure is important, but we've planned, since I've been on the council, we've planned ahead for any expansion needs. We're very in tune. We have a budget set aside for wastewater treatment, and we have 10 wells that are producing great water. So we're in a position to take smart, controlled growth.
Right.
We look at any annexation requests if they come in. You got Atwood property, you got the Mayor Road property, I should say. We got to balance it, make sure it fits into the comprehensive plan, and is it fair and benefit to everybody in the city. We'll address the issues as far as infrastructure, but we need to also include EMS, fire, and police department. Everybody kind of forgets that, but the roads and the sewer and water always get, that's our infrastructure. Well, no, there's more to it. Police department, fire.
Okay. Do you see any areas where the city could reduce spending without reducing services for the residents?
That's a no.
All right, I'm going to go on to the next question.
And I'll explain why. Because this council has been very conservative at its approach with budgeting and maintaining our excellent rating from Moody's at a AA plus, or excuse me, a AA plus. And that's the highest we can get as far as a city our size can achieve. And in the 2008 recession and budget cycles, the city, the councils in the past, and some of the members now, we really sharpened our pencils and really we made it lean. I mean, this is the best way I can describe it. We've been very conservative. As it got better, we've given departments more money. We've increased library funding over 3 years. This last budget cycle, we gave an additional $40,000. We all support the library, which is a great thing, and hopefully we can continue to support it at the levels that most people expect.
Okay. What is your position on allowing or limiting more residential and commercial development in the city of Hudson?
Like I said, control growth. You know, does it make sense? And can we adequately develop anything that, as far as the infrastructure and our services that we provide our citizens?
Right.
As long as we are keeping our mill rate within, in which we have a cap at 5 1/4, we have done a great job at being involved with any expansion and making sure that the businesses that come in match what Hudson's used to. You know, all the businesses downtown and uptown on the hill, as we used to always say in the chamber, right, have done a super job. The folks downtown, you got to give them a round of applause for their hard work. We have some of the great restaurants in western Wisconsin, and some even better than Minnesota. They should be very proud, and I would do everything as mayor to keep that support and keep grabbing those tourism dollars to come into the city and give it back to where it's provided, as far as advertising, bringing in groups, conventions, whatever we can get, bring them on in.
Right.
But in the long-term scheme, we got to make sure we are also looking towards maybe in another industrial park. It keeps the tax base low. We got to keep businesses, you know, jobs, whatever we can do to help mitigate,
Right.
without putting a strain on our retirees. So we're not chasing them out of the city they love, city that I love, that I've been here my whole life, and just trying to make all the right common sense decisions to a better government that helps our community.
All right.
Kind of got lost there, didn't I?
It's okay. We have one final question. Is the city's plan for maintaining and improving the city's infrastructure sufficient, and why or why not?
Yeah, I have been a part of that plan for the last 10 years. I've been an advocate of pushing and making sure have always done our roads to where if we're going to reconstruct roads or repair them, we're going to go inside the roads. It may cost a little bit more, but in the long run, we're fixing the water, sewer, and the utilities that are under the road, not just a resurface Band-Aid job. And over the last 3-4 years, we've spent $11 million on most of our reconstructing of the roads. We hear the people. We hear when spring comes, all the potholes and stuff. So this council and the councils past have done a wonderful job with their 5-year plan, capital outlay plan, and we're going to continue that if I'm fortunate enough to be the mayor. We're going to continue the investment into the infrastructure, and we're going to make sure that decisions that we have with development and planning that come into town, that those developers are going to be responsible for any infrastructure improvements to make sure we have safe roads. Carmichael's a perfect example. Both sides.
Right, right.
And that'll be a priority for me.
Okay. Well, very good. That concludes my questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add to let the folks know?
Well, I just want to thank you for one, and thank the residents of District 1 and the city overall. I asked for your vote, and I'm looking forward to the February 16th, which is the primary, and then hopefully I can move on to April 5th, and where I would win and hopefully be asking for your vote for April 5th, and then I can say, well, let's move on forward and have an open and honest government that everybody can have a civil, I guess, a conversation about all the issues and listen to both sides. So I thank you, and I thank the citizens of Hudson.
All right. Well, thank you, Randy. I appreciate your time today and wish you all the best of luck in the upcoming primary election.
Thank you.
And just a couple dates to remind you of. The primary election for the city of Hudson will be held on Tuesday, February 16th. There are 3 candidates running. And then the election will be held on Tuesday, April 5th. For the Western Wisconsin Journal, I'm Mary Claire Potter. Thank you.